Hi everyone, it's Emma and today we are going to be doing a book discussion. Today's book is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. Literally, this book has been out since September and I read it in like early October and I've just been busy and not doing book discussions on this book. One, I would just like to point out how beautiful this book is. I kind of debated doing a discussion on this book because I haven't done any discussions on the other books, but I decided, since I love it so much, that I would. Because I will ramble on for hours and hours on this book, I'm going to try to do this in a timely fashion now that my emotions have collected and been sitting for a couple months or weeks. At the time of reading, I did not yet own Assassin's Blade, so I had not yet read this. I still haven't read this. And to avoid spoilers, I'm just going to give a brief kind of overview on the first book to kind of just tell you what the series is about. Throne of Glass is a series about a girl named Celaena Sardathian who is the world's most notorious assassin. She has been enslaved in the Camp Endovier for over a year, but she is let out and handed over to the prince and the king of Adarlan, who basically say if you want to be free, you have to compete in this epic assassin competition. And of course she wants to be free, so what does she do? She accepts it. She goes to Rifthold and goes to the Glass Castle to do this competition. And that's all I'm gonna say. 5 out of 5 stars. Read it, please. That's it for the non-spoilery section. If you haven't read the book, bye, go away, and come back when you have read it so you can discuss with us. Go away. You know, let's just start everywhere. Yeah. Book hype! Okay, since I'm assuming you've all read the book now, I'm gonna go straight into the end because I can't help myself. Oh my gosh, when Aelin got put into that coffin, it was like tortured and whipped in front of everybody. Oh, the feels. So there's a prologue about Elena and how she royally screwed up and how that disaster happened. Then we begin with Alide and Lorcan, or I guess it's Alide. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, just their moments were so cute together when they kind of buddied up with that circus group thing and they were in the tents together and they were pretending to be husband and wife and they kind of just like, I don't know, Lorcan was like humanized because of Alide. And I like how Alide doesn't take any crap from Lorcan. She stands up for herself, she stands up for the greater good, and yeah, I just love them together. Can you tell? New power couple! And then we have the other new kind of pairing, which is Manon and Dorian. When we are first introduced to like this whole concept of the possibility of a Manon and Dorian relationship, I hated it. It was like, what? You can't put them together. That's not how it works. I did not accept that. Dorian is gonna be with Celaena. I have to admit, after I've read Empire of Storms, I do like Dorian and Manon together. I didn't know I wanted it until I had it, and then I loved it. And Phantom Hands will always be something to remember. It was so great. I loved how they had first Abraxas and then Alide and now Dorian to kind of humanize Manon and make her not such an evil witch, which they did beautifully. So the Manon chapters and the Alide Lorcan chapters were basically my favorite of the whole book. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Aelin and I love Roman. I ship them together so much, but I don't know, just something about the freshness of the characters Alide and Manon really grabbed my attention, and I wouldn't mind if there was like an Alide Lorcan spin-off series. That'd be great. Can we just talk about the major elephant in the room, that Chaol wasn't even in this book? Second book, I was Team Dorian for the first book, then I kind of moved over to Team Chaol, then my heart broke, and for Heir of Fire, I didn't know what to do. I was floundering with my ships. I didn't know what was going on. And then book 4, I was heartbroken because when Chaol, so I'm glad by the end of the 4th book that they were kind of on the same level. I'm totally Rowan, Team Rowan. He's my bae. My bae. Aelin is so freaking smart. She created this whole plan, this master plot that everything somehow ties together. Like, just I admire Aelin for her intelligence and how she was able to plan everything together and One of my favorite scenes was when we were in Skull Bay and Selena / Aelin were reintroduced into Skull's Bay. And I also thought the whole concept with like the moving map on the guy's arm, hand, back, what was it? I don't remember his name, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You know. Can we just talk about that moment in the beginning of the book where Manon saves Dorian and she goes back to the witch's hangout and her grandmother is like, no, one of your 13 needs to die. So she's like, one of your 13 needs to die. That's gonna be Astrid. And I threw down the gauntlet, man. I had a little panic attack inside. I paused reading for a few minutes. Astrid was not gonna die. But then Manon sacrifices herself and betrays her own kind to save Astrid, and they escape. And I just loved that scene of Manon finally becoming a good person for once. The character development for Manon made my heart soar. You make me crave that. I feel so cheated because in A Court of Mist and Fury, we missed Faysand's Reading. Feyre and Rhysand. Faysand. Whatever. I don't know. We missed it, okay? I don't know if Sarah J. Maas finds humor in just skipping over important milestones like this. Here, we missed their wedding again.
When you're in your free time, you cry over fictional weddings that never happened, actually.
I will, okay, Ketsy? I will, and I do. Stupid Maeve brings out the big guns and is like, well, did you know that she's also your mate? Rowan, I was a little confused if Rowan could have more than one mate because he already had one, but we learned that was fake. That wasn't your real mate. Are you kidding me? Just messed with your mind. Your mind tricks. My favorite part probably was the ending when all the characters finally kind of converged and met together in the grasslands or the wastelands or the swamplands or whatever lands they were in. The part where Manon and Aelin had to go into the mirror together to unlock the secrets I didn't understand. I got, but I didn't really get it at the same time. Like, why was that riddle created and why did they need to go together? But it was extremely amusing when Dorian walks out and Aedion comes up and is like, what the heck? Where are they? What are you doing? And Dorian's like, I don't know. I just kind of thought it was a good idea, so we just did it. Yes. And it was so intense to see how they're all waiting on Aelin and Manon to figure this out. They were running out of time, so Rowan takes it into his own hands and decides to go call for his blood relations, his cousins and his relatives, to go fight against Maeve. And don't really get why Maeve chose to use Rowan's relatives to fight Rowan. But whatever. The Skulls Bay battle scene was also really Pirates of the Caribbean, and we had a lot of Lysandra kick butt action, which I loved.
Rat.
Like kitty cats! I really like how Aedion and Lysandra are bonding closer in these hard, difficult times. We had that bomb dropped where Manon is also the Crochin Queen. Aelin couldn't technically rule over Terracin because she wasn't approved, which, you know, that annoyed the crap out of me. That worked out well. Fine. I'm also really to see what the new characters Fenris and Gavin, part of the cadre. I'm excited to see where they go. I'm also upset that Lorcan and Alide are kind of like mad at each other right now, but I'm sure that things will work out. That was my Empire of Storms book talk, and I hope to see you all next time and have a great week. Bye!